are in my pocket. Our town is called Sunny Sands because it's always sunny and it's by the sea. We love spending time at our beach hut on the beach. And you can see the lighthouse from my bedroom window. This is Mum and Dad's bike shop. And here's Miss Smiley's cafe, which serves the best ice cream sundaes in the world. Then there's Mr Whoops's shop, where you can buy anything and everything. Everyone loves Sunny Sands. It was a sunny Saturday morning and Mum had a new hobby, gardening. And you know what Mum's new hobbies are like? They take over the whole house.
All I can say is I'm glad she's at the bike shop today, Jason, even if she has left us in a forest.
But the forest is great to play with all my beasts, Grandpa.
I wouldn't call Gordon a beast.
But we can pretend he's one.
I'll tell you what, Jason. As it's such a lovely day, why don't we take the beast into the garden?
And that's how it all started. It was going to be really good fun because today we were going to have a garden full of beasts. But just then, the doorbell went. I ran to answer it, and who should come storming in?
I've come to help.
Great Aunt Loretta.
And not a moment too soon.
Oh, yes. Grandpa's sister was here. Now, Great Aunt Loretta is always making really weird food, like sausage with sardine sauce. And she drinks spinach and sprout shake, which we call green glue. She's always stubbing her toe. We have a pack of peas in the freezer that we always put on it. And she's often like this, or like this. And she makes Grandpa feel like this.
There's nothing for it. We'll have to get out there before she makes a terrible mess.
What a terrible mess.
It's not a terrible mess.
It is. It needs sorting.
No, it doesn't. We like it like this.
You don't know anything about gardens, you lot. But I know a man who does.
Great Aunt Loretta had sent for her friend, Mr Hackit, who knew about gardens. Or at least, that's what he thought. Grandpa and I couldn't imagine what he was going to do to our garden. One thing was certain, Mr Hackit was bad news. Grandpa wasn't at all happy.
I think I'll just go for a little lie down.
We'll just have to play in here, Grandpa, and let them get on with it.
We'll do no such thing, Jason. Mr Hackit will hack the garden to pieces if we don't stop him. Don't you worry.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know when Grandpa shrinks, he can get up to all kinds of magical things. Grandpa! Get down, Grandpa! Not the plane, Grandpa! He can fly off in my plane. He can get into my car and make it go. He could just run for all he's worth. Grandpa! Get down, Grandpa! Grandpa? Grandpa, come back! When Grandpa shrinks and disappears, everyone thinks he's having a little lie down. Apart from me. But right now, I had no idea where he was. Until... He was flying about on Gordon, my toy seagull. Grandpa, come back down! I didn't know what Grandpa's plan was, but mine was to get into the garden to see what Mr Hackit was up to. Great Aunt Loretta was showing him the tree.
I mean, just look at it. It's so overgrown.
Oh, Hackit. Hackit by name, Hackit by nature. That's me.
Then she showed him the flower bed.
Look at it. It's full of weeds.
No worries. I'll dig it. I can dig as well as I can hack.
And then she showed him the pond.
Just look at the state of the pond. It's so full of weed. I feel really sorry for Keith.
Keith is the gnome that Great Aunt Loretta gave Grandpa one birthday.
He can't catch any fish in that murky water, can you, Keithy?
Great Aunt Loretta is very keen on Keith.
I'll weed it. No worries.
Great Aunt Loretta left Mr Hackit to get on, but I knew she'd be back later.
Or start with a tree.
No, you mustn't hack the tree!
I'll just get me stepladder.
But there's a bird's nest in the tree! I looked around for Grandpa. I knew he'd be planning to come into the garden soon, and I was right. Grandpa!
Whee!
Get down! Luckily, Grandpa was well hidden by the time Mr Hackit came back.
Right, time for a quick hack.
I wouldn't go up there, Mr Hackit.
Don't you worry about me. Why don't you go and check on your grandpa inside, eh?
But of course, my Grandpa wasn't inside. He was in the nest.
That's no ordinary seagull.
No, it's a cross between a seagull and a pterodactyl. I had to think up a name really fast. It's called a Gordanosaurus. Very rare.
I think maybe I won't hack the tree. I'll do the flower bed. I'll just go and get my spade from the van.
So far, so good, Jason. Go and get the box of beasts ready for my next plan.
Grandpa's next plan was this.
Got me spade. Now it's time to diggity dig. It's a huge hairy spider!
Oh yes, there are tons of those huge hairy spiders in that flower bed.
I think perhaps I'll start on the pond. I'll just pop inside for a drink of water first.
This is going awfully well, Jason. All we've got to do is stop him messing with the pond.
Once Grandpa's got an idea, there's no stopping him. But Mr Hackit came out of the kitchen before Grandpa had a chance to hide. Luckily, Grandpa had an idea.
That's odd. There are two Keiths. I'm sure there was only one Keith before.
Just then, the doorbell went.
I'll go.
When I looked back at the pond, Keith number 2 had gone. I wondered what he was up to. And then I found his clothes. This time, Grandpa had gone too far. The bad news was Grandpa was planning a swim. The worst news was that guess who was back?
Nothing's been done. Come on. I'll help.
Well, the thing is, unfortunately, this garden is full of beasts. And another Keith has appeared.
Another Keith? Don't be so silly. Where's the other Keith?
He was there. It's gone missing.
And at that moment, I realised that something else had gone missing. My alligator. Then I saw Grandpa's cap and I guessed what was coming. Grandpa was hiding in the pond, waggling the alligator.
I told you this garden was full of beasts.
Soon Grandpa was back in his clothes. He whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size. Well done, Grandpa. I don't think Mr Hackit will be back.
I couldn't have done it without you, Jason. You and the beasts, of course. Teamwork, eh?
Teamwork. Just then, Great Aunt Loretta came down the stairs, so I quickly hid my alligator.
I feel better for having had a little lie down, that's for sure. Oh, you've got a bit of pondweed stuck behind your ear, Grandpa. Anyone would think you'd been swimming in the pond with that alligator.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll have you know, it's a very bad idea to keep alligators in ponds, Jason Mason.
All behind cushions.
Grandpa in my pocket! This is me, Jason Mason. And this is my grandpa, with his dog, Beowulf. We live here in Sunny Sands. Here's my dad's bike shop, and this is our house. Oh, and here's my mum, doing one of her hobbies. Mum's always taking up new hobbies. 1 week it's karate, then it's salsa dancing, opera singing, and now her new hobby is growing vegetables. And more to the point, she's growing oddly shaped vegetables for the Sunny Sands Odd Vegetable Festival.
There's no room to play Captain Dumbletwit Snap in here, Jason. The vegetables are taking over.
Look at this one. Don't you just love him? I'm going to call him Christopher.
Christopher?
We couldn't believe that Mum was now giving her vegetables names.
Isn't he beautiful?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call him beautiful, but he's certainly odd.
The odder, the better. There. I'm off to my gardening club. Look after all my babies for me, won't you? I won't be long.
So off went Mum, and Grandpa and I were left in charge of a carrot called Christopher and other odd vegetables.
Well, Jason, if we're going to play Snap, we better go outside. There might be more room there.
But there wasn't more room in the garden. The vegetables had taken over here as well. Oh yes, Mum had grown every sort of vegetable you could possibly imagine.
Right. I'll deal.
We just started on our game when we heard
Cooey! It's only me.
Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
Ooh, I say, the vegetables are taking over. I've come to cook you some yummy supper.
What?
I'm going to invent a new recipe.
But Mum didn't say you were coming.
Well, Mum must have forgotten, mustn't she? I'm going to invent an odd vegetable stew with, wait for it, pickled onions, curry and custard.
But you can't use any of Mum's odd vegetables.
We're looking after them for her.
Don't be so silly. She can't need them all. Ooh. And this will do for starters. Ooh. Right.
She has to be stopped, Jason.
I know.
And there's only one way to do it.
Not the shooting cut, Grandpa! You know when Grandpa shrinks, he can get up to all kinds of things. He can chuff about in our Sunny Sands train. He can drive off in my car. He can get into all sorts of very small places. And often he runs so fast, you've no idea where he's gone. And I had no idea today. But there was no time to look for him. I needed to check what Great Aunt Loretta was up to. And she was up to no good.
Oh, I say.
No!
What?
Not Christopher, Great Aunt Loretta. He's Mum's favourite.
Well, I'm not surprised. Look at his little legs. Woohoo! Mr. Mentor will love him.
Mr. Mentor?
Yes, Mr. Mentor, the inventor.
Now, Mr. Mentor the inventor lives in the lighthouse in Sunny Sands. He's always coming up with really crazy inventions. Like this, the grassy buggle jumper. Only the bugs liked it even more than he did. Then there's this, the automatic haerostatic that gives you a new hairstyle every day. And this, the Huffer Puffer Pillow Fluffer. Everyone loves going to visit him in the lighthouse and trying things out. And he likes trying out other people's inventions too, which was why
I've invited Mr Mentor for supper, and I'm going to invent a new recipe.
Oh, no, she's not.
Grandpa!
We've got to make sure that the vegetables really do take over, Jason.
No! But Grandpa jumped down and ran into the kitchen. Grandpa! Where are you going?
I'm going to start with the pumpkin. Where's my knife?
Grandpa shot up the leg of the table and hid behind the pumpkin.
Grandpa gone for a little lie down, has he? So lazy.
Grandpa was determined to get the pumpkin out of the way. But he wasn't planning this.
Me toe. Me
Great Aunt Loretta is always hurting her toe.
Oh.
We have a pack of peas in the freezer, especially for these moments. Maybe the pumpkin doesn't want you to cook it.
Don't be so silly. How does a pumpkin know whether it wants to be cooked or not? I'm going to pick some beans, I am.
Grandpa jumped off the table and followed her outside. The doorbell went. I ran to answer it. It was Mr. Mentor, the inventor.
Jason, howdy-doody-do. Am I too early? I've been trying out this fabridiculous new watch I've invented. See?
Mr. Mentor doesn't only invent things, he invents words too. Oh, it is fabridiculous.
I know. Shame it doesn't work. Oh, my goodness. The vegetables are taking over.
My goodness! I've never seen such odd, wiggly-looking beans before, have you, Mr. Mentor?
Never. They are spectacularly wiggly.
I had no idea where Grandpa was or what he was planning.
They'll be perfect in an odd vegetable stew with pickled onions, curry and custard, won't they?
At that moment, I spotted Grandpa. He was making his way towards the beans. And just as Great Aunt Loretta leant forward to pick one, this happened. Grandpa was wiggling the beanstalk.
Good heavens, what's going on? The beanstalk's wiggling.
Wiggly beans on a wiggly beanstalk. How whizzer-woodlesome.
Maybe the beans don't want to be picked, Great Aunt Loretta.
Don't be so silly.
I think it's an excellent invention. A beanstalk that won't let you pick the beans until they're ready. Not just super, but super-duper.
Ridiculous.
I needed to give Grandpa time to get out of the wiggly beanstalk. So I showed Mr. Mentor some of Mum's other vegetables. And there's some of our chilies over there. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Grandpa jump, run, and make his way back into the kitchen. I needed to get back in there too, and fast.
Oh, this is such fun. What's next? I can hardly wait.
Right. I'm going to start on me carrot. Where is it?
For a second, I thought Christopher had gone missing. But suddenly,
It's alive.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I'd have to make sure that Grandpa wasn't seen.
Brilioso! It's a fantastical invention.
It's a horrid invention. It's a horrid cavorting carrot.
Maybe it just doesn't want to be cooked, Great Aunt Loretta.
Don't be so silly.
Whoever invented it, Jason?
Grandpa. Kind of.
Wonderbubble. Absolutely wonderbubble.
I knew what was going to happen. Careful, Great Aunt Loretta!
Help! Help! Save me, Mr.
thought it was time for Grandpa to stop. Grandpa, stop! But he was having such a great time. I could see another disaster coming. He was heading for the pond. Watch out, Mr. Mentor!
On my way!
I quickly picked up Grandpa.
Whoops. Did I get a bit carried away?
I put him in my pocket. Then I grabbed Christopher. At that moment, Mum arrived home.
I'm home. Oh, Jason, you've been looking after Christopher. How kind.
No, put me up.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Problem?
Problem.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, am I glad to see you. Oh, the vegetables were taking over. The wiggly beans wouldn't stop wiggling.
I whipped Grandpa out of my pocket and put him down on the floor. He took off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
Oh, that was a close one, Jason. Still, at least we stopped Loretta from cooking Mum's odd vegetables. Do you know what I call that?
Teamwork?
Teamwork.
In the end, Mum cooked a really yummy supper.
What a day for inventions, eh? That wiggly bean bush. Oh, you should have seen it.
Really?
Spectacular. And the clockwork carrot.
Oh, clockwork carrot, eh?
Truly fabridiculous. You are a great inventor, Grandpa.
Inventor? Grandpa? He doesn't do anything except lie down.
Oh, don't I?